Good morning. I just want to do something a little different today, so thus this background. I pointed this out before, but these are two of my favorite paintings, and I didn't sell them when I left Lexington because I just couldn't part with them. They're oil paintings on cardboard, so they're low quality, and I was told that they were Japanese. I don't know, but I love the moody, grayish, kind of drab green quality of them. They inspired me a lot. I've had them in lots of my homes over the year. But here's the lynch. Here's why I love them the most. See, they've got these boats in them, sailboats. Here's one, and here's one. But the boats are not really represented as being having white sails on a deeper background. They're presented as having dark sails. Thus, they give the appearance of being giant sharks in the lagoon ready to eat you. So look at them. I mean, I'm not going to hold you up there because look at them. Shark! You know, I had the idea years ago, and people do this. They buy old paintings and prints and go in and paint stuff with them. I could do some really cool stuff here, but the thing is, I know how to paint, and I could make it look like it really was just like little, we're going to say little people here, little island people, scared of the shark coming in. Okay, I've got a thought today. I want to reel some people in here. I want you to hear my stories is what I want. So the stories are going to get pretty good here. And I'm going to start telling some secrets, only mine. I'll tell you something. I've had more wonderful people I love and loved growing up who have told me secrets on themselves. And you know what? I have yet to tell us all any of those secrets because I love those people. And at the time, it was very important that they share those things with me. And sadly, I don't ever really forget anything, so that's all just locked in, but I don't care. Nobody's secret ever made me dislike them or love them less, okay? So this is a little weird one because they tell my own secret. I told somebody this recently, and it felt kind of freeing. I don't know. So I was, let me see, how old was I? 18, about to turn 19. I was like 18. Yeah, it was right in there that summer when I was going to I flunked out of UK there real quick, and then I was in Bloomfield for a while. And I don't know, just through some social thing, I found myself into a little group of people, and one of the people was this fellow I did not really know. He was from my hometown, but I'm just going to describe him. I'm not going to tell you who he is. I'm not. And you would never guess anyway. You just absolutely would not guess. But the thing was, we did this social thing together. And I thought, oh, he is really cool. But he was also, let me just tell you, he was really beautiful. Really beautiful. Beautiful face, beautiful hair, beautiful body, beautiful car. Substantially older than I was, which was that was always oh, wow, actual adults in the world care for me and like me as a person. They find me interesting. So after this event where we actually broke the ice, he started kind of calling me, and I was like, well, I'm obviously very entertaining because he wants to hang out with me and stuff. And he'd say, I'm going to go do some shopping in Louisville today. Would you go along with me? And I would. And we would talk. We would talk about things. And then, the conversation would kind of go into an area that I was a little bit, I was 18, 19, but I was still I'm just a dumb kid, and I don't know. And he guide the conversation into gay stuff a little bit. Not dirty, but just into it a little bit. Say things like, did you ever play sports? And I'd be like, well, no, I tried to stay with it. And said, well, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And then he said, and, at school when you played sports, you had to take showers with the other guys. And, some of the guys are circumcised, and some of the guys are not. And just looked at me. And I was like, okay. Anyway, I don't know. We did this 3 or 4 times. We had these little, it's a play dates, right? He kept coming and picking me up. I remember it was hot summertime. Come and pick me up, and then call me on the phone, and we'd talk and talk and talk. And there was no I really like you, and we're going to hang out. It was just automatic. So it wasn't too far into this little, let's say, bromance we'll call it. Wasn't too deep into it. And he said, I really want to talk about something important. I said, okay. Okay, what is it? He said, I'm gonna come and get you and take you, and we're gonna go talk about something. And I said, okay, and I did, And he said, okay, so here's what I want us to do. Now, let me tell you something. He had a girlfriend in town. And I had a little girlfriend that I just adored. I just absolutely adored her. And in my perfect world, I would have been able to take a pill and be straight and married her because she's still just lovely and I love her. She's one of my favorite, most respected people. But anyway, he said, here's the plan. We're going to ditch the chicks. And I said, we're going to ditch the chicks. He said, yeah, come on, let's face it, that's not really going anywhere. And so what I think is that you and I need to go up to Lexington together and get a small apartment, maybe even a Section 8 apartment, because we won't have much money, but just kind of start over, like you and me. And I was like, well, surely to God you're talking platonically, and why me? I don't show any sign of really being like a big winner who could get out there and get the rent together and stuff. I mean, like, I didn't go there because I was absolutely intrigued and charmed by this person because, I mean, just to look at them, just to have them turn to you and to ask you a question would just make your heart melt. I'm sure it did that to straight guys. He was so pretty. I'm sure he just wilted all the flowers whenever he walked in. Well, anyway, this is not a real popular person or anybody. I'm not going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm not lying because sex lies gross me out. I think we all told them when we were 15. We told sex lies. It was really cool. And then, like, you'll get away with you. And then it was like one day you just had to go, all right, I was lying about that. That never happened. How dare you believe that something that stupid could actually even happen? Because they're always really outlandish, right? All the sex lies are like, well, you won't believe this, but me and the actual Marky Mark. No. They're always really outlandish, and I hate them. So this isn't even a sex story. This is just an intriguing social story for me. So we talked about it a little while, and I was like, you know, I was trying to keep him. I was like feeling in my heart, this is not going to happen, but I'm going to play with him. I'm going to play with him. And we had 2 or 3 little dates where he'd tell me plans he had been thinking up for us, and I'd go, okay. And then I'd say, I've got a lot of pretty little antiques. And he'd say, yeah, I don't see those in the mix. What I see is just you and me in an apartment in Lexington. And then, like, I'd probably go back to school, and you could go back to school if you wanted to. But we'd just start over there and just be people who live in Lexington. And it was just real weird to me. Now, I'm going to say something. This guy was beautiful, perfect, clean. He was also really anal about people's appearances, about his own, and about others. And that's the thing that got me was like, why me? I'm like wearing one of my daddy's old blazers to try and look like I've got 2 cents to rub together. But no, we were going to do this, and I don't know. We talked about it 2 or 3 times, and then one afternoon he stopped by unexpectedly, and I'm going to tell you something. I can still be a real pig, right? I can still be real sloppy in the house. And when I was a teenager, that was like, 18, 19, I didn't clean my room very often. And we weren't allowed to run the air conditioner up there and had ceilings just at 7 feet high. So it was a broiling oven up there. So I'll just tell you the truth. In the summertime, I did not clean my bedroom unless my parents, like, went somewhere to Louisville to something, and I was home alone, and then I would turn the air conditioner on and cool it down, then clean it. But anyway, the thing was, we're on our front porch, and I'm like, he says, I want to see your bedroom. And I said, I don't really want to show you my bedroom. It's a mess up there because I haven't been. He goes, no, it's time. And he just like opens the front door and starts into the house. And I'm like, okay, just give me a second. And I run up the stairs. And I'm like looking around, like picking up underwear and Coca-Cola cans and stuff like that. Thinking, oh God, don't let there be anything in here like a container of pee or anything. Because he ascended the staircase. And then he looked through it. He looked at my room. And he just looked at it. And he just looked at me, and he turned around, and he he went down the stairs and he left and he never came back. I think that maybe he had thought that I would be a lot more meticulous than I was. And if that was a deal breaker, that's great. And I'll tell you something. It was a fun little thing to toy with in your mind, but I never for one second thought, this is going to work. This is a really good idea. But, I mean, I will tell you, then after that, it was like, just gone. Just not, we didn't talk about, nope, I didn't talk to really anybody. I talked to one friend about it who kind of went a little deeper and reinforced my thoughts on it all. I'll just say that, reinforced them to fact, okay? But there was this moment, and it was, I don't know, year later, maybe, I don't know. And it was that moment from The Way We Were. You know, at the end of The Way We Were, where Barbara Streisand just runs into Robert Redford, and they just look at each other, and they just kind of want to stroke each other's faces, and, how you doing? We okay? We okay? Well, anyway, I was working on 4th Street in Louisville, and I'm going to tell you that I looked like $1 million, okay? I was really into my looks at the time and doing whatever I needed to do. You can call it catfishing or what, but I could strike a damn silhouette. And the thing was, I kind of think I was pretty devastatingly gorgeous that day. And I'm just going out on my break and just, and there he is. And he's got like, you know, he's got like a garment bag. And he goes, you know, it's so good to see you. I just heard that you could get really cool stuff down here on the River City Mall, and it's just got this beautiful look. It's a beautiful velvet blazer, and it's cotton velvet. It's not synthetic. And I was like, well, that's great. But we stood there, and then he looked into my eyes and he said, are we okay? And I looked into his and said, yeah, why wouldn't we be okay? But in my mind, in my memory, when he asked that, he reaches out and rubs my cheek. Anyway, here's the thing. On to the forward, I never run into this person. I've seen this person 2 times since that time. And the second time he was really rude. I didn't say anything like, hey, remember you? And no, it was just like, you could tell he looked at me in just my very image, an old fat man. Because he, still devastatingly handsome, but looking at me like, I really dodged a bullet with you. But anyway, as far as I know, I'm the only toying around with same-gender people that this guy ever experienced. From what I understand, he is a long time married and everything, and I would never out him because that's sickening. And any of you who know who he is, it's because I already told you. You're never going to figure it out. You're never going to get me to tell you because it's stupid and it will cause trouble. But I like to tell secrets that don't really cause trouble. And honey, let me tell you something. If you tell a secret and you name names, it can cause trouble. It's happened in my family, actually, quite recently. Anyway, gotta go. Love you. That's my little tattletale on myself for today. I might do more of these. We'll see. I got a lot of really stories about stupid things I did and wicked things I did and really cool things I did. And really cool, stupid things I did. And I'm going to go. Love you. Happy, happy day. Bye.